Hello guys, like I want to be very honest here. This particular chocolate cake recipe is one of my best chocolate cake recipes ever. Like it's super moist, it's scrumptious and is as in easy to make and is very soft. Like if you try this recipe, bet me you will discard all other or every other chocolate cake recipes and you will stick to this particular recipe. Like this recipe took me a lot of time to make, but I love the outcome of this recipe, and that is why I'm super excited and very happy to share this particular recipe with you guys. And believe me, when you try this recipe, you are going to fall in love with this my recipe. So relax and let me show you step by step how I made this amazing chocolate cake recipe, butter based. So I started by measuring out 200 grams of butter or margarine. Like if you are in Nigeria, you should understand that margarine is basically what we use. But if you have butter, you can use that. To that, I started adding my sugar, 300 grams of sugar gradually. You know this is chocolate cake and you're going to be adding unsweetened cocoa powder. So you need a little way bigger amount of sugar to make it not have that bitter taste. Yes. So after adding the sugar, I went in with my eggs. Like I added the eggs one after the other. I added just 2 eggs for the start. Then I make sure that I cream thoroughly. So these eggs I added will help me to cream this butter and sugar very well, so that there will not be kind of too much granules of the sugar in the mixture. Okay, but if you are using your stand mixer, it will be very easy and super faster for you to make. Okay, so after adding 2 out of the 200 grams of 4 large eggs, I added 1/8 teaspoon of salt and half teaspoon of um cinnamon powder, and then to that I added my chocolate flavor half tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of milk zest. So I went in and make sure that I mixed everything thoroughly. So after mixing everything very well, I went in with the remaining last 2 eggs. So after adding these last 2 eggs, you can see how the batter is. Then I had to make sure that I incorporate the eggs and every other ingredient that I've added thoroughly. So after creaming that, I set that aside. Then I measured out 210 grams of all-purpose flour, 40 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder. Now the small plate that I just showed you has 10 grams of milk powder and 10 grams of chocolate chips. Okay, so I added half teaspoon of baking soda into the flour. Then I went in and sifted these dry ingredients into the mixture, just as you see, into the cake batter or into the buttercream. Yes, so I sifted the dry ingredients into the buttercream, just as you see in the video. After sifting in these dry ingredients, I made sure that I mixed everything thoroughly so that there will not be any lumps in the batter. So after mixing and making sure that there is no lumps, then I had to get the milk and the chocolate chips, added about 4 tablespoons of water into it. Then this you can microwave if you mix in a microwavable plate, or you can just dissolve this in a water bed for just few seconds. So after that, I transferred the whole mixture into my batter and I went in and mix everything thoroughly. Okay, so you may think that, oh, the chocolate chip didn't dissolve. Yeah, they are soft already, so they will dissolve in the cake batter when I pop it in the oven to bake. Okay, so make sure that you mix everything thoroughly just as you see in the video, and then once that is done, you add about 3 tablespoons of liquid milk, just as I did. And after adding the 2 tablespoons of liquid milk, mix everything again. Make sure that the milk is well incorporated into the batter. And once that is done, add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. So this white vinegar is going to react with the baking soda to make the cake to fluff up and also to soften the cake and keep it moist. Yeah. So that's been done. I make sure that I grease my 8 inches round pan and line the bottom of the base with a baking paper. Then add about 750 grams of this batter into the pan, and then kept the other remaining batter aside. So I make sure that I tap the base of this my pan on the work surface to ease that air and to make sure that my cake is leveled. Then I bake in my preheated oven at 160 degrees C for 1 hour 20 minutes, or till a skewer inserted into the cake comes out clean. You can see that how amazing this cake came out. It's super moist and fluffy and delicious. So you have to transfer on a cooling rack, and let it cool down completely. Meanwhile, I grease a plastic plate and transfer the rest of the batter in it. Then cover this and placed in a pot of boiling water. Cover this and let it steam for up to an hour, or 15 minutes to an hour. Okay, after 15 minutes, I took out this cake from this water. You can see the cake has proven so well, has risen so well, and has baked absolutely super moist cake. So in this video, I made this chocolate cake in 2 ways. I made it in the way that you can bake in your oven, and if you don't have an oven, you can steam it in water. Okay, you can just steam it and it will come out super absolutely delicious. Like, the outcome is going to blow your mind. And not just that, the taste of this cake is something else. Like so guys, if you have watched this video to this end, that means you love my recipe and you are eager to support this channel. Please, and if you have not subscribed to this point, please click that subscribe button. Let us also know that you love us. Yeah, and once you click the subscribe button, also click the notification bell so you always be among the first people that will always get my videos whenever I make a new one. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.